I've been shopping around for a second-hand combo for 5 or 6 months, waiting for the right amp to come into view. So I've been after something second-hand, and usually I don't like amps older than 1974. So I've been looking at late 60s, early 70s amp, but they're just so expensive. It's a bit of a joke. And yes, I've finally bought myself a combo. And so without any further ado, let me introduce you to my new amp. It's called an ENGL Classic Tube Live. So I was in Brighton, walked past a guitar shop, and I saw this second-hand combo. Of course, I know ENGL have got a really good reputation, so when I saw the amp, it really sort of got my curiosity. I like the style of it, and that 60s style. It's all valve, preamp power amp. I thought, look, let's plug in and have a go. So we went and got a standard Strat off the shelf, just with single coils, and I plugged in and my jaw hit the floor. It was that good. Fantastic. Usually I prefer a clean channel, and I use a fuzz box from there with overdrive or fuzz to colour my sound. But I loved the sound of the drive on it. It sounded awesome. On the clean channel and the dirty channel, I just loved the whole sound of the amp. It just sounded ripping. It's an all-valve amp. It's made in Germany. It's also got 2 channels. So let's show you the controls on it. There's your input there, and that's the low gain, which operates the clean channel, the distortion, the gain on the clean. And there's the high gain, which is the dirt on the heavy channel. And there's also a bright switch, which adds highs like a presence. And there's a depth control, which adds more low end, but I don't use that so much. There's your standard EQ channels, your bass, middle and treble. And there's also 2 reverb controls. I can hear you asking why there are 2 reverbs. Because there's one for the low gain channel and one for the high gain. So you can have your clean channel set with lashings of reverb and your dirty sound with none. So that's one of the things you can do with this amp. Very handy. There's the high-low channel switch. Of course, that can be foot switch operated from the back. I'll show you that in a minute. And there's the 2 master channels. That for the clean, the low gain, and that master for the heavy channel, the high gain. And there's a standby and a really cool 60s looking light. So that's it, the Classic Tube 50. They've made a 2x10 combo, which is what I've got here. They also made a 2x12 combo. I would have preferred a 2x12 because you get better bottom end off 12s than you do off 10s. But obviously this was second hand, there wasn't an option. I've never heard a 10-inch speaker amp with so much low end and low mid than this. And there's loads of volume to spare, as this amp's rated at 50 watts, a proper 50 watts. I paid £500, that's about $800 second hand, and I've since been online just to see how much they are, and they're £2,048. So it's a great buy. And to top it all, she's just had a full valve service. But it's not about the price, it's about how it sounds. And that's what attracted me to it. So let's have a look at the back panel then. So let's start with the simpler connections. You can see that there's a reverb foot switch here. The reverb takes a mono jack, whereas the low and high gain VLS takes a stereo plug. On the right hand side, you can see I've got a mono jack plug. That's the signal on the tip and the earth. And the one on the left is the stereo plug, which has 3 connections. The tip is signal left, the ring is signal right, and the sleeve being the earth. So that's the difference between mono and the stereo jack plug. VLS high-low gain takes a stereo jack plug, which then connects to 2 mono plugs, which gives you 2 independent foot pedals. So I've got pedal A rigged up for the high and low gain channel, the clean and dirty, and pedal B's rigged up on the VLS. And the VLS stands for Variable Level System. So it's almost like a high and low volume control on one channel. And you can do the same thing on the heavy channel. So it's sort of like the Mesa Boogie Studio 22, where you can kick in an extra volume level. I've never actually come across VLS on an amp before, but I can see it's a very useful function. So in effect, this 2-channel amp has 4 channels. And now you wouldn't find that on a 1960s AC30 or Fender head. Next is the effects. There's a send and return. I really like the fact that you've got a balance, a dry or wet, dry and effect balance. So that means that you don't always have to change the parameters on your racks. because sometimes someone's output sections on their racks are set to 100% wet, and some people might have them set to 50%. Well, with this knob, all you have to do is turn it to adjust the balance rather than having to reprogram your racks, which are a pain in the butt. So that's a really useful function. And then you've got the power amp speaker outs. There's actually 4 outputs in total. I can't wait to hear it through 4x12. And another thing I think that's really good is the balanced line output. When it comes to balance out, XLR mic sockets sound better than just a simple jack plug. Something I really like is that there's an overload light as well. So that can just tell you if it's peaking to the mixing desk or whatever you're sending to. And also there's a ground lift button that may stop any hums or buzzes. So very comprehensive back panel, a great amp. So I think it's about time we fired it up and I can show you what she sounds like. So let's turn the standby off and check it out. So I'm going to start on the clean channel first with a gain at 12 o'clock. Let's start on the neck pickup, bit of treble, don't really need the bright. I've set it on the clean channel, I've got the gain on about 12 o'clock. I've got the reverb and falls. That's on the neck pickup, as I say. You try on the middle pickup. Let's give it a bit more middle. Let's try the bright switch, so I'll just put the bright in. One of the things I really like about this amp is, from my experience, my pedals I know are fantastic. Now, when my pedals don't sound good with an amp, I know there's trouble. And likewise with my guitars, this guitar sounds fantastic through many amps. And when I plugged it into this amp for the first time, I just knew that it was cool. And then I'm on the in-between setting, like setting 2 on the switch, like the out of funky, sort of out of phase thing. Let's take the middle down a bit. Get a nice funky tone. It's just got a great tone, fantastic. And like I say, the humbucker, let's take the middle down a bit for the humbucker. So I'm going to take the gain up a bit now. I better take the master down. So we're at 3/4 gain on the clean channel now. Oh, the sustain is fantastic. Like I say, we're only ticking over really on the clean channel. So let's go to full gain on the clean channel. So it's really fat, great sounds. So let's have a look at the heavy channel now. I've got the foot switch rigged up, so I can go on to channel A. As you can see, the light's just gone on. Let's start with halfway on the gain. On the neck pickup again, what I'm going to do is just give it a bit more mid on the single coils, just like I did with the boogie. Treble, no reverb, bright switches in, the depth isn't. It just makes me want to play guitar, it's fantastic! So that's the neck pickup. Let's just go into destruction land. So we're still only on 12 gain. So let's crank the gain up full now. And it's gone to the humbucker. Now, this was just crazy. This is a crazy sound. Kicks off, doesn't it? It is amazing. It's really that good. It's just got that chesty. When the VLS foot pedal's not attached, it actually just stays at the high level. But when the pedal's plugged in, you get a higher and lower. So I'm on the higher at the moment, as you can see. So that's the lower. But like I said, just by adjusting that little switch on the back, that VLS knob, you can adjust the amount of volume difference, whether it's louder and quieter or they're both similar, so you can adjust that. Squeak it on every fret. That's got to be good, isn't it? Oh, it's a great amp. It's just got that voltage swing, that power to deliver from the amp to the speaker. It's awesome. Got foot switch rigged up as well, which controls the reverb. So I've got me 3 pedals there. That's with the reverb on, reverb off. So the spring reverbs in there are really good actually, they're quite good springs. Absolutely champion amp. I'm so blown away by it. It's so good, you get butterflies before you've even plugged in. She's a total beast and I love it. The ENGL Classic Tube 50 combo. Rock and roll, dudes. Nearly out. See you soon.